Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic Lesson Classics. This is episode number 1871 and Doubleshot number 1765. I have two Batman related trades for you. First up it is Batman Rules of Engagement, collecting the first 6 issues of Batman Confidential. Yes, the second trade I have reviewed this thing. The last one I reviewed was Superpowers, and that contained the last 5 issues of the series. Yes, now in the case of this book, I didn't mention the real purpose of the book, just basically Batman Confidential. The purpose of this book is to serve the same reason, the same placement as Legends of the Dark Knight. The purpose is to tell more untold stories across Batman throughout the years. Launched in December 2006, concluded in March of 2011, probably to make room for the Flashpoint tie-ins. Yep. This arc is done by Andy Diggle. Yep. And this book is drawn, the artwork here is done by one artist, Wallace Perchito. And also, this trade came up every time we still have created by Bob Kane, this epic nowadays. It's with Bill Finger. Now, this is set 1 year after the events of Batman Year 1 story. Yep, that's when this takes place, like 1 year afterwards. There were 2 first chronological things for this one. Number 1, we had the first time Batman meeting Lex Luthor for the first time. Chronologically, of course. The second is the first chronological appearance of the Batplane. Yep, that is simply the things with the storyline. It's an interesting storyline for what it is, and if you're curious though, did Andy Diggle himself ever do any other story arcs, any other Star Wars Batman aside from this one? Excuse me. Well, from DC. Let's see here. Aside from this book, this was the only Batman book he ever worked on. No, seriously, this was the only book he worked on. Now, for ongoing series-wise, the only one he did all the way through complete from start to finish was The Losers. Yep, The Losers. Though his most noteworthy stuff he did from DC is Green Arrow 1, which was loosely adapted to Arrow Season 1. And there's a character named after him named Andrew Diggle, who is the brother of John Diggle, a character who's also named after Andy Diggle. Yeah, they basically fought. There's all a battle of wits between Lex Luthor and Bruce Wayne. We also have Lucius Fox here as well, which is interesting. I'm not really sure exactly if this was the first time he made the CEO of Wayne Enterprises. I don't know. But this is a pretty good start for this series. And see, the book now, the Legends of the Dark Knight book was actually canceled thanks to the events of Infinite Crisis. This book was put as replacement, and to date, when this book concluded, there was no book to replace it. No, seriously, there was nothing to replace it. Well, for the style of series it is. And I give this book a 9 out of 10. There's various different story arcs, and here's the thing: a lot of the series is in trade, but not the entirety of it. No. Here, okay, out of the 54 issues for this series, these issues are currently not in trade. Excuse me, to my knowledge, for no explained reason. 36, 39, and 49. And that's it. Just these. I think it's about 6 issues. Yeah, all but 6 issues are in trade. This was the first one they released. This is even a hardcover version of this one. Now, I've already used the last one already. There's technically the cover for this one, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd say about 8 more story arcs, 8 more trades to cover. Now, you're probably thinking, who did the very next work? Michael Green. Yes, Michael Green. This book also brings the character something called Ogre, which is a robot. Yeah, but definitely is a good start. basically, for the series per se. But it's not a terrible story per se. It's not very a memorable story per se. Next up, something a little more interesting. We jump ahead approximately 15 years later to Nightwing Fear State. Unlike the previous trade, which contained issues, I think it was like 78 to 83, which is like 6 issues. This only contains 3 issues of the Nightwing series. Only 3. Why only 3? Well, they also threw in the annual for this book. Yes, the annual. And you might be asking, did Nightwing have any other annual besides this one? For this volume per se, which started back in 2016. Yes. This is actually the 4th annual release. Yep, the 4th one. And they have been publishing annuals constantly for this book since 2018. Yes, the first couple years of this book, no annuals. Yeah, 2016, 2017, no annuals. Now, pretty much in the way, they also included in here the Nightwing story from Urban Legends, which I'm not going to cover here. Also put for this one, it's simply put what Dick Grayson was up during Fear State. We also have, in this very storyline, we have Barbara Gordon put on her Batgirl costume again, though it's the costume that was introduced post Gail Simone, though they have a flashback wearing a different variant costume per se. At least it's no longer that skinny mask she was wearing, because that was stupid. Yeah, really stupid. This also helps up the current Batgirls ongoing series, where it features Stephanie Brown, Cassandra Cain, and Barbara Gordon all in the series, which I think was a terrific idea to do. Now, Tom Taylor does pretty much everything in here. He does not do the Urban Lenz issue. Nope, that is not put that on him at all. That's done by Tina Howard, who does that one. There's a co-writing this one. The artwork is done by Robbie Rodriguez, Klein Tamori, Christian Deuce, Dana Herr, and Ralph Fernandez. This cover here is done by Bruno Rindo. Yep. Plus, you gotta love these covers for Fear State. Yep. But I gotta say, for this book is still really good. I'm still loving Tom Taylor run. I had to order this from my comic shop because they didn't have a copy of it. I did actually just at Barnes & Noble. I chose them to get it, and I thought my comic shop had it, but didn't have it, so I said request and they get it for me, and I did. And I paid for it. They had shipped to the store, and it was the first time I ever ordered any books from them per se that I would purchase actually with the purchase itself. I did it a couple times with Barnes & Noble, but I've never done my old comic shop before, so I figured though, why not? Yeah, why not? I would say of the two, Nightwing is really good. The Batman one is okay at best. Got good artwork though. Yep. Me. But yeah, that's a particular review. Excuse me. Next up is some Marvel trades that feature 2 of my favorite Marvel comic superheroes. Okay? Next video. Bye.